Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my. Hey, oh shit, my bad. What's going on, people? What is going on, people? Man, these are yo boys over here. 6-man K style, Mad Mike Sports. You got the 6-man and the mad scientist on your Monday edition of. My apologies, kicking it with Kstylzz. As you already know, the day after the game, yeah, as y'all saw the title, the Falcons got physically obliterated by the 49ers 31-13. But before we get to that, I got to hit them with the real roll call. So we definitely appreciate everybody climbing in here. We got the Nation. We got Tev Sports and Gaming. Hey, we got Jonathan Rozier. He said it is his birthday. Hey, man, if anybody in here that sees that, y'all wish Jonathan Rozier a happy birthday. We don't have the vocals singing for you. So we just going to say happy birthday, my dog. We got happy Mr. Motivator.
Happy birthday to
What's happening, Mr. Motivator?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Happy birthday to you. That's one of the worst birthday songs ever right there. But we got Asia Green in the building. We got Joseph Thornton. We got Jerry Bowie. And we got Mr. Noah Tyndale. Hey, man, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Definitely make sure you go ahead and share, like, comment, subscribe to these streams, not only just on Mad Mike Sports and Atlanta Falcon Nation, but hit your boy up, 6-man Kstylzz. Show me some love as well. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. But as we go ahead and get into it, let's go ahead and get straight into the show. 49ers physically obliterate Falcons 31-13. Mad Mike Sports. What went wrong here? What do you think? What do you think went wrong in this game to where it kind of went down the way it did?
Going to be honest, momentum. I think momentum did everything. I know a lot of people not gonna agree with that, but momentum first and foremost is what really did us in this game. Because the Falcon came out right off the gate with something exciting, and we know that the refs clearly took that away. There's no way in hell, if you are an honest football player, an honest football fan, that you can say without a shadow of a doubt that did not play a significant part in that game. All right, so that was clearly a touchdown. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, man, hey, you can't make excuses. But this is what we talk about momentum. Momentum is everything. And that was a touchdown. All right. That's a touchdown. You score that touchdown, it's a completely different game. And now you're forcing these guys to pretty much play, from behind. Yeah, they still can run the ball, but now you're looking at a team that has to not only be, a running team, but now they got to focus on protecting the quarterback. Now, Dean Pease can be a little bit more aggressive with his play calling versus just focusing on stopping the run. Now he can blitz. He can do all types of things with the. And with the offense, you can start focusing on running the ball. You can start trying to mix Quadri Olison in. You can mix Mike Davis in. So once they have a lead, you're already playing from behind. as an offensive coordinator. It's a different type of play calling when you are up versus down. That pretty much took the Falcons away from that balance. Now you have to pass the ball. So the first one for me is obviously, the momentum. The refs just like let's be honest. Those refs, come on, like those guys were on. Like we talking about that overturn of the touchdown and the misplaced, where Russell Gage clearly got the first down. We ended up getting the quarterback sneak, but it never should have came to that type of stuff. So momentum played a tremendous part, especially on the road. When you're on the road, you need every little thing to go your way. You can't have those types of things. So that's huge. Momentum is huge.
Oh man, hey, that's some good insight on that. Yeah, man. I kind of agree with you on the momentum part. Like you said, even though they did take the touchdown away, you still had opportunities to punch it in there, even when they did. I think this was just one of those issues where getting that fumble on the opening kickoff and then not taking advantage of that with a touchdown. You kind of spark the home crowd, the 49ers crowd, to get into the game, because not only did you not get 3 points, they got a 4th down stop. So yes, the officiating wasn't the greatest, but you also have to think about it. You had 1 touchdown and 5 red zone opportunities. This is what we're talking about, not taking advantage of those opportunities. Because we, like I said, as much as that sucked, we didn't do ourselves no better. And this is what we was talking about with this game is you had to want it. And like I said, the 49ers just wanted it more. The Falcons didn't really display that by not taking advantage of those opportunities. There's many factors that come into this, though. Like I said, I ain't saying there ain't no factors that go into it, but at the end of the day, 1 touchdown and 5 red zone trips says a lot. So that's kind of what my summary was about that, man. It's
a lot going on. It's a lot. Like I said, we said this over and over again. It's easy to say that they didn't want it, but at the end of the day, it's always a battle of one-on-one, mano and mano. And right now, the Falcons we just don't have as many talented guys as they have. Just be real about it. This is why we keep saying, like, at the end of the day, are we confident in our team? I think we're confident, but we're also real. This is not a very deep team. Yeah, we have pieces here and there, but their offensive line, they have one of the better centers in the league. He's been there for a while. Going up against a young defensive line like the Atlanta Falcons, they automatically have the heads up. Alex Mack is already out there making calls. We saw Matt Ryan screaming at Kyle Pitts, telling him, you need to do this, you need to do that. He's looking at the running back. You need to do this, you need to do that. He ended up actually smacking Mayfield for making a mistake. Matt Ryan had to smack him because he knows these types of things. So they're making mental mistakes. So we can sit up here and say, whether or not this or that, but like at the end of the day, we're just not as good as these guys are right now. That's a veteran team. They've been to the Super Bowl. They've been in the playoffs. They've been through those wars. Most of our guys have barely been off the bench. Barely been off the bench. They've never started a game. A lot of these guys have not even started a game. Zacchaeus, Blake. You look at, I say this all the time. One of the things that I don't like, a lot of these young stars coming out of college, they just not prepared for the NFL game because they dumb the game down in college. All they want to do is run RPOs in college. That's not helping prepare these guys for the NFL game. So at the end of the day, it's a lot that goes into it to just say, all right, we got physically, destroyed. The game is a lot deeper than what we, try to portray. This is a lot deeper than that.
Okay. Yeah, you brought up something that was very interesting too about the beginning of the game, because I thought that was kind of flaky in a way where it was almost like people kind of forgot what the play calls were. I don't know if there was. Do you think it was more so of the nerves of what the ramifications was to this game that kind of was the catalyst to that? Because like you said, you can hear. Cause you had to remember, Falcons called 2 timeouts in a 3-minute span in the first quarter. So a lot of times when that happens, it's usually guys don't know where to line up. And I just want to know, do you think it was the ramifications of the moment, or the moment and the situation may have been bigger to these guys than we realized when we first started watching the game?
Yeah, of course. This is a play call in Kyle Shanahan. Like he's a veteran. He's been in the game. Like once he finds a weakness, he's gonna exploit that weakness over and over and over again until you make that decision to change it. Like until you make that adjustment, Kyle Shanahan gonna keep on picking at it. And that's what he did. I deliberately saw him on one drive go at Foye Oluokun at least 7 times in a row. The whole play call was to go at Foye Oluokun. And I got people, Deion Jones, he sucked. No, Deion Jones was overcompensating for what he was doing to Foye Oluokun. All right. I deliberately, myself and LT, we was in the chat. And we was like, you guys see, coming out of halftime, they got the ball back after they scored. Yeah, they deliberately went at, good God, that dude's big. But that's a big son of a gun, man. You get another wide receiver, he's gonna be a problem. But he deliberately went at Foye Oluokun. Like at one point, he did 2 things. Dean P tried to do 3 things. He tried to do 2 things. He tried to bring in Michael Walker to help. I guess they try to coach up Foye Oluokun. He ended up dropping Grady Jarrett in a zone so he could help him, but just nothing would work. Kyle Shanahan was picking at Foye Oluokun, and everybody was like looking at Deion's like, why Deion is trying to overcompensate. He's not the Mike linebacker. Okay, this is what we got to understand. He's not the Mike linebacker, so he has to travel a greater distance to help Foye Oluokun. He's on the weak side, so he has to come from this way out of his natural position to go this way. So that's why you kept seeing a lot of crossing routes that like going towards the left side of the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. That's why you start seeing those routes going like this, going across the middle, because what he was doing, he was taking advantage of Foye Oluokun, what he was seeing, his eyes. Every time they would run those stretch plays to the right side, Foye Oluokun would drift toward this side, and it would keep a void. It would cause a void in the middle in the defense. And what he would do is either have that same route to have Deion to kind of elongate and force Deion to drop a little deeper. And that's why you saw 2 things. You saw George Kittle catch those same routes, and you saw I forget they received. It might have been Debo, but you saw Debo with those routes that was coming across to across the right side of the defense. Is because Foye was too aggressive and trying to stop the run. And that's just great play call. Once you see a player just keep overcompensating to try to get to a side, that's what makes a guy like Kyle Shanahan, because he can nitpick and see those types of things a lot faster than other coaches. So that's just basically what it was. Kyle Shanahan, like I said, he a master manipulator when it comes to the run game and the passing, the play action. So I know a lot of people are really upset with Deion, but that's what happens when a guy like Kyle Shanahan can see his linebackers overcompensating to one side. He is great at it, and he's always been there.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, I did find that interesting that, you were seeing Grady drop back into that zone out. Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard for a second. I'm like, wait a minute now. I see the issue here. But let me go ahead and, like I said, this is all you saw in the second half right here. This is all we saw right there.
Right.
And I had to say, tackling was an issue too.
Oh yes,
it was a big issue going in here because like there's normally a statistic most people don't realize where they call it yards after contact. And usually the most physical teams are usually those teams that get those yards after contact. And that was one of the major issues that we did have. This is why I said the physicality. This game was about who wanted it more. I mean, you see George Kittle carrying 7 Falcons for another couple yards. You got Debo Samuel breaking arm tackles, and like I said, whoever the hell to run, they played Jeff Wilson. He's sitting there breaking tackles. It was just like I said, it was just an overall bad performance. I think the situation, the ramifications of the results may have played a part in it, but this is what we're talking about, where you gotta kind of have to have those dogs, those alphas in that defense as well. Well, the whole team really, but mainly on that defense, because you need somebody looking like, nah, we ain't finna have this. You see them running over, we not finna have this. I'm gonna stand them up. The rest of y'all come over here and finish. And that's what you kind of saw, because at the end of the day, what the 49ers did really in the second half was they just rushed forward and dropped 7. That's all it did, was rush 4, drop 7. But because and like I said, Mayfield, like you said, we have to remember he's still a rookie. Like I said, it was a bad game from him. But the thing like I said about Mayfield, as much as we want to harp on him, I haven't seen back-to-back bad games from him. So, like I said, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That was it. I got the perfect picture to basically describe what the hell happened to this game. I got the perfect picture. This is exactly what happened to us. That's exactly what happened to the Falcons in this game.
Bruh,
do you see?
That was the final punch, bro. That man ducked. He let him. That man dropped his hand and let him punch him in.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story. But he got knocked out. He got knocked.
What is that?
He got knocked out.
You got knocked out. Oh man, boy. But yeah, like I said, that was the combination. Nate Robinson was bad, but it wasn't as bad as Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley was at least a fighter. Nate Robinson is a basketball player.
That's why I can't believe. I like I said, he a fighter. Ain't no way he get knocked out like that. Like, come on, you know that had to be dead.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you looked at the punch, he telegraphed the shit about the truth.
Yeah, he looked at. Yes, he stood there.
I'm about to say what fighter you know that's about to get that sees a punch and then clinches and then flinches up ready for it.
Yes, and waited for it. I was like, wow, that dude really, like, he really, like I said, I'm a huge boxing fan. I follow MMA also, but yeah, like I said, I know when somebody fixed the fight, telegraph the punch.
Right.
That was all scripted, and even the fall. I can guarantee he was practicing the fall too.
Oh, bro, ain't no look. I'm about to say, ain't nowhere here anybody fall and their feet just perfectly end up like
Come
this,
on, bro.
Ain't no way, bro.
I ain't even recognize that.
Boy,
yeah, come on, dog.
Boy, that boy, they turned that motherfucker into a nutcracker.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, you can't tell me that one thing. That's a whole other story, but golly, yeah, that man, come on,
What is it? He did it for the money. All right, people. I want y'all to go ahead and start throwing a couple questions in here. This is the portion that we're gonna call the flyover Q&A. So I'm gonna let people go ahead and put a couple. We're gonna answer a couple questions. Can't answer all of them, but we're gonna find a couple of them. So this is the flyover Q&A portion. We're gonna, instead of doing it at the end of the show, we're gonna kind of do it as a medium for the rest of the show. So we'll go ahead and see if we see a couple questions in here that people.
The real. We appreciate you, big bro.
Is that
the real?
And like I said, as well as like I said, we appreciate everybody. Hey, if y'all hadn't did it already, you got J Rock and Miss Maggie T here in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all show them some love. And yes, we are 50 subscribers away from the 2K. So we definitely will appreciate the love if you go ahead and share, subscribe to Atlanta Falcons Nation, as well as your boy 6-Man Kstylzz, as well as Mad Mike Sports. Hey, that's all we're just gonna say. Just show us some love. But we're gonna get a couple questions here. All right, Kstylzz Falcon here. Asks, why do we suck in the red zone? Mike, why do you think that we have been inconsistent in the red zone the last couple weeks? Because I know they said we dropped all the way down to the bottom 5 in the league as far as red zone touchdown efficiency. This is what he talking about. He talking about the touchdown portion.
That's a real question.
I guess. This is what it is. These just random ass questions. I ain't got no specific order in them. This is what the flyover is. It's about throwing the random question in.
Have you seen our? Hold on. Let me see if I can. But I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna try to put this. I'm gonna try to put that in. But have you seen our receivers? Did you see them guys standing next to Muhammad Sanu? I'm gonna try to put that in there. But you just take a look at those guys standing next to Muhammad Sanu. Okay, and you tell me why you having a problem with it. All right. So I'm gonna try to find it, and I'm gonna show it to you. But have you seen how big our receivers are? All right, 6'2", 6'3", and they look like absolute midgets compared to what they do. And I'm talking about Christian Blake and Zacchaeus. All right, so whenever I get that picture, like I said, I'm gonna get. But if you know what that looks like, then you'll see. Let me see if I can get it. But go ahead and answer. Go ahead and answer that, Kstylzz.
Man, the issue, like I said, the issue, and it kind of pertains to what Mike's kind of talking about as far as the physicality behind it. If you look at some of the play calls, you got to really pay attention to the offensive line. Like I said, especially when it comes to running the ball. Yes, we have been on certain games that we have been very good in the red zone, but you got to look at the consistency of the push that they get. Because when wait a minute, I'm talking about goal line. Red zone. No, the issue is you have to remember defense. You have to remember defenses kind of look at this team. Like Mike said about the midgets, the midget wide receivers. Like you said, you don't really, yeah. they look like his nephews, bro. A lot of days the kids look like Desi Banks and shit. But yeah, man, it's, like I said, you can come it down to play calling, execution. Like I said, it's a lot of things that go on, but at the end of the day, it's all about the mentality. This is what we talk about.
I can't even. Do anybody see his arms? Do you even see Christian Blake? Is he even there? Look at him. We wondering why you look at these guys. These are our wide receivers compared to Muhammad Sanu.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody get it. This is the reason why. This is what we dealing with at wide receiver.
Yeah. But the one thing I will say though is the passing formations within the 3-yard line is kind of like a cutesy way of trying to score the ball, but but at the same time, it also comes down to the fact that they don't have the confidence in the offensive line to really get that push on the goal line. So that's why they end up in those spread formations like that.
I mean, again, we keep talking about offensive line.
No,
we keep putting so much emphasis on the offensive line. But what about the running backs? We didn't have any trouble when Todd Gurley, as much as people complained about Todd Gurley, we didn't worry about Todd Gurley getting in the end zone. He was going to find his way in the end zone. He had about 8-9 touchdowns when he was here. So is it really the offensive line, or is it a combination of things? And this is why
this is why you didn't let me finish.
I knew you was gonna get. I get really irritated. I apologize, but I get really irritated when we say the first thing I hear our people mouths is just offensive line. We don't have the confidence in the offensive line, but we really go ahead, Kstylzz.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they play a part in it too. But this is why I'm talking about you also got to have dogs as well. This is why I say you have to have dogs on the offensive line. Not offensive line, but on the offense, period.
Right.
You got to have dogs. I mean, like you said, even though Todd Gurley's knees is made of Fig Newtons and shit, but like I said, as much as he wasn't running the ball very well for us, he was getting in the end zone. I mean, one week he got in the end zone where he wasn't supposed to get in the end zone and we lost the game. But we gonna call that another story. But that's what it all comes down to, man. It's the mentality. It's the mentality of all the players. Because once you in that red zone, they call it the red zone for a reason. It's the danger zone.
Mm-hmm.
When you got the defense in the danger zone, that lets you're supposed to attack and go for the kill, which is a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is like I said, we don't have the guys that have the killers. We don't have the killers on offense yet.
Receivers got to be able to block too. You got to be big enough to block, and that's why I brought up the fact that our receivers. And another reason why our run game isn't as effective is because you got to remember, like having Muhammad Sanu on that offense was like having a third and fourth tight end, because he was so dynamic and so dominant as a run blocker. That's another tight end. Muhammad Sanu and Julio Jones, those was like tight ends in the running game. So they added to the running game and that physicality on the goal line. So when you got guys as little as the kids, let's be real.
Put that picture back up right quick. I need to see something. Put that picture back. Oh my God!
Like, who's scared of this? Who's scared of that? This is what I'm talking about. Who's scared of that?
Yeah, look. One looked like Desi Banks, the other one looked like Young Thug.
Young Thug. Oh my God!
All right, man.
Yeah,
all right, man.
wow.
Hey, look, we done squabbled on that one. Like I said, that's what the flyover Q&A is. Like I said, we just picked a random ass question that we gonna talk on. Like I said, we appreciate y'all questions. And the one thing about it is y'all keep asking the questions, because we're looking at these chats after these shows, and you may get a video dedication to yourself with those questions. So that was it. You keep on asking them. But let's go ahead and get to the next one. I know this was going to be kind of awkward. Which Falcon players stood out to you? What Falcon player stood out to you in this game? And I know there wasn't that many moments in this game to really see that, but who stood out to you? And then, like I said, everybody can answer. Everybody can chime in on this as well. Who stood out?
I gotta say Chris Lindstrom. It was a couple of moments in the game where I saw he almost gave up sacks, but his athleticism took over. Like he really did showcase his full array and range of ability as a run blocker as well, but most importantly, his pass protection. I see why he was a first round pick, because, like I said, those are, I wouldn't necessarily say they're a good defensive front, but in blitz packages, you saw him step up, and Caleb McGarry, when he had help, he was okay with Bosa, but as soon as he's one-on-one with Bosa, Bosa obviously has that issue with that giving out the outside. So it's like we know what Nick Bosa is, and we know what Caleb McGarry. But who stood out to me? I could always say Jake Matthews. You can say Russell Gage, but I love what I saw from. I love what I saw from Chris Lindstrom. He's only going to continue to get better, but the Falcons got to get a running back with vision. I love CP to death, but it was a couple of opportunities there where I saw the lack of vision. So I think that's the biggest thing for me with him, is that he definitely wasn't as he wasn't as dynamic as we used to see him. It was a lot of situations where I thought that CP could have turned it up. Mike Davis could have turned things up, and like the lack of vision at those guys. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing with this offense, is the lack of vision.
You did like okay. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple. I'm gonna say Russell Gage, man. Like, even though when we was talking about the receivers and how inconsistent they was, I at least saw him out there trying to get the damn ball. I at least saw that. Like I said, you didn't see that many plays from him, But he kind of stood out. He kind of stood out to me a little bit because it wasn't even the fact. It was the fact that he was going up and getting the ball. It wasn't so much as just the catching of the ball. He was going up and getting them. So that kind of showed me that okay, even though we know this lets you know what the difference between Zacchaeus and a Russell Gage is as far as experience, because he knew, like you saw Russell Gage, he knew what type of game, what kind of implications, and he was going up and getting the ball. He the most dude twice in the same game. And he did the snatch on him in the end zone, and that was like I said, that was just something that was just something that took me off. I mean, I know Russell Gage doesn't give a damn about his body, as we know.
Yeah.
But that kind of stood out to me a little bit, man, because even though the Falcons didn't win, you look at plays like those and okay, be looking like okay,
he won.
All y'all got to do is follow me. Even though he's not the number one, he's not a number one receiver. But you need somebody to show these guys that I'm here to fight too. I'm gonna bring a picture up later, but it's gonna basically talk about all this. But let's go ahead and we're gonna get to the next one here. We're gonna get to the next one. Mike actually found a comment. We gonna kind of call this the this is the comment of the day. This is the Kstylzz comment of the day here. Let me go ahead and get the banner off. Mr. TR said the defense has its issues. We know this, but Arthur Smith is no play caller. He's uncreative and makes calls that just doesn't confuse or stress the defense. Artie needs to relinquish his play calling duties, turn it over to Ragone to see what he can do these next couple of games. All right. So since Mike graciously went on ahead and found this comment, the floor is yours, man.
First of all, I want to give a history lesson. So I actually had a conversation with a guy on Twitter today, and for whatever reason, everybody thinks that, you know, guys like Kyle Shanahan, Sean Payton, Bruce Arians, so many other guys, they think these guys just became great play callers. In fact, all those guys that I named literally got fired or had their play calling duties taken away. So let's just make one thing clear, okay? One thing clear. Play callers aren't born. You're not born a good play caller. You're not born a good play caller. You learn to be a good play caller. Know what works in the NFL and what doesn't. Learn to know what works in the offense, you know, for that offense for year after year, because every year is different as a play caller. So that's first and foremost. That Kyle Shanahan got fired. I don't know how many times Kyle Shanahan got fired as a play caller. Okay, that's one. Bruce Arians literally got fired from Pittsburgh because of his poor play calling, and then we got two. Sean Payton. Sean Payton literally got fired. He literally got his play calling duties taken away from Jim Fossil. So we've seen this time and time again. Why would I say that? It's because you got to be patient with play callers. If we were impatient with Kyle Shanahan, we would have never gotten to a Super Bowl to begin with, because that dude was god awful. All he did in 2015 was target Julio over 200 times. I think it's like 230 sometimes or something crazy like that. So it wasn't anything that he was doing that was special. He learned to adjust. That's what good play callers do. They learn how to adjust. They learn over time what works and what doesn't work with particular personnel. So based on that comment, we're talking about he's not creative. What does creative have to do with anything? If guys aren't catching the ball, if guys aren't, running the proper routes, if the offensive line doesn't hold up, what the hell good is a creative play call? Your guys can't hold up. The wide receivers can't get open. The running backs can't see the proper hole. So what good is being creative? What is creative? What does that even mean? Execution is what it's all about. So you sit up here and talk about he's not creative, but what's creative about running the ball 40 times? Because that's what Kyle Shanahan does. He's good at that. All he does is turn around and hand it to his running backs. Nothing creative about that. It wasn't nothing creative about O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. It wasn't shit creative about that. They handed the ball to him and gave it to him and let him do his thing. So all this creative, all this nonsense about you got to be creative, that's nonsense. There wasn't nothing pretty about what Kyle Shanahan did. They saw weakness and whipped ass. That's all that is. It's simple as that.
That's all you need to know right now.
That's it. I mean, what else do you want? You see Julio? Look. You don't see not one damn. I knew you was gonna pull that. Look, 5 guys around, not one damn wide receiver open. Well, where the Falcons players at? That right there. What the hell kind of play call? Look. Come on, bro.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, I just want to throw that right here. At the end of the day, basically Mike saying is this is a first-year head coach, bro. Let it relax.
Let me rephrase. Look. What's creative about a stretch play? The stretch play has been in the league since the 20s. There's nothing creative about a stretch play. It's been in the league for years. There's nothing creative about that. What he does, what Kyle Shanahan is, he knows how to see talent. He knows talent. So all these running backs, he get a specific style of running back that hits the hole a certain way, and that's perfect for his offense. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have guys in his offense as big of as a Derrick Henry. He doesn't. When was the last time you saw a big back in Kyle Shanahan's offense? Most of his guys fit the profile of a guy like Devontae Freeman, who was small, he quick, he hit the hole fast, and nothing creative about that. He knows what type of player he needs for that system. That's not creative.
Hey, man.
That's just knowing that's just knowing the game. That's what it comes down to. Knowing the game. That's not creative.
And like you said, it's just one of those cases where, and he said the main thing is I have to fit my scheme around the players that we do have. But we finna go ahead and get to one more topic of the night. And this one, we're going to switch a little gears on this one. It's bowl season, people, and the BCS Playoffs is next week. Yeah, next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got the 2 matchups, as everybody know. Alabama, Cincinnati, Michigan, Georgia. What are you expecting out of this matchup? What are you expecting out of these 2 matchups? Do you think
Honestly,
that Cincinnati? Oh, my bad. I was about to say, do
I,
you
I
think
don't.
Cincinnati has a chance?
I actually don't. I'm just gonna be real. I just don't think they have a chance against Georgia front. I no disrespect to their receivers and quarterback, but you're talking about a defense that's NFL ready. At least 3 or 4 guys on the front in the front seven of Georgia, they ready for the NFL right now. And that's no that's no joke. These guys are Devontae Why he's gonna be a top at least first 3-round pick. We already know what Jordan Davis is. There's so many guys on that team. These guys are already they ready for the NFL right now. So I couldn't really tell you a lot about Cincinnati front line, but I can tell you that teams that run their RPO against Georgia and they don't have the receivers that Alabama does, it's going to be hard to kind of stop those guys once they've seen it before.
Okay.
You've never seen these athletes in Georgia. Cincinnati ain't seen these monsters up front like Georgia. And these guys got something to play for. It wasn't like last game. Most of those guys that they played in the previous matchup with Cincinnati, most of those guys weren't starters.
Right.
These are the starters right now. This is a whole nother ball game.
So
we got James Cook and all those guys. These guys Pickens. These guys, they got something to play for this time. You're gonna get a whole nother. It's gonna be a whole nother game. So, like, honestly, I don't think they have a chance. I'm just gonna be real.
I
don't think they have a chance in hell.
So you said Alabama gonna wipe the floor with Cincinnati.
That Alabama gonna wipe the floor. Like this is if they did that to Georgia, what the hell you think Alabama go?
See, but here's my thing though. Here's my thing. Like I said, Cincinnati really doesn't have a chance in this game. And I know Nick Saban ain't finna underestimate these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't underestimate Cincinnati, bro. Because the one thing I will say that Cincinnati does is, like I said, they use their tight ends. They use a lot of twin tight end sets. And as we know about these Alabama linebackers, ain't the same as what they used to be. They can still get after your quarterback now. Like I said, it's gonna be all about the pressure. But they're gonna have to watch out for a lot of these tight end slip screens and these the tight end routes they like to run. They like to run some tight end wheels and stuff too. Like I said, Cincinnati ain't got a chance. I mean, I ain't gonna say they got a small chance in hell of winning, but that's all the chance that they need. And when it comes to Michigan and Georgia, this matchup is interesting too because Michigan loves to run the ball. Georgia loves to stop the run.
It come down to quarterback play in that game.
So my question is, Elroy Jackson or JT Daniels?
I was trying to avoid that. Y'all already know how I feel about that. That dude don't need to be playing on nobody team. If he does, he need to be handing the ball off 50 times. That's all he need to do. Handing the ball off and running. That's it. He don't need to be trying to throw the ball or nothing. And man. I just
see, but here's one because like I said, Georgia has one. They got one ace up their sleeve that really can break this game wide open. Because I know Michigan is pretty well in depth, but Brock Bowers can make or break this game against Michigan real quick. That's gonna, like I said, that's gonna be the one to watch right there. Cause I think he can definitely set up. He can set up for everybody else to have a good game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like I said, as much as Michigan is number 2, I don't think they really have the balance to really. I don't think they really have any balance to really mess with Georgia's defense.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing about it is because they know they don't have that balance, they got some trick plays up their sleeves, up the yin yang that they probably haven't even exposed yet. So that's where Georgia is going to have to watch out for those trick plays. Because, like I said, y'all do have an attacking defense, and I don't know why when y'all played Alabama, y'all didn't attack, but that's just another. That's another.
Story.
That's a whole nother video right there. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that after the playoffs. We'll get to the next round. But so basically, out of what we said about this matchup is, so you basically think this is going to be an Alabama Georgia rematch for the BCS title?
I do. I just don't. You got to have a core. Honestly, you just got to have receivers in order to beat Alabama and Georgia. If you don't have the receivers to beat them, you don't have a chance in hell. That's just call it what it is. You got to have good receivers. You got to have a good quarterback. And I don't think, especially against a Nick Saban coach team, that he's going to let a guy just beat him by RPOs. Like, this, come on. Nick Saban too smart for that. Okay? You're not going to let you beat him by RPOs. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to run the ball correct. You're going to have to run the ball against that team.
But like Reggie here said, do you think they're gonna be? Y'all gonna have to look for James Cook to have that breakout game? Because if they bracket Bowers,
I mean, you can bracket Bowers all you want to, but you still got to stop Cook and Pickens. Like, what is that? Like, you forget Pickens in there? All we got to do is get over the line. That's it. If Stetson playing, all we got to do is get it over the line.
Right.
Get him outside the pocket. Get him outside of the pocket, and you know, Pickens, like, he looks like he's a lot healthier. So even if he is 60-70%, Pickett he has great hands. Make no mistake about it, he has great hands.
You can't attack a defense when your quarterback is Stetson midget. That's crazy. But one thing about this Georgia-Michigan matchup too is it's pretty much this is pretty much what Falcon fans gonna have an eye on, because we're gonna be looking at Jordan Davis, but they also gonna be looking at Aiden Hutchinson too. And the guy they actually got 2 good pass rushers over there at Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a Jobo on the other side? So we're definitely gonna be paying attention to this game in particular, because these are guys
stop the run. That's all I'm gonna say. Georgia's not gonna put you in a position where you're going to rush the passer. They like balance. They're gonna try to run the ball, even when you have a Stetson. They want Stetson to get outside the pocket to run. So they're not gonna put him in.
They ain't got no choice.
I'm trying to be nice, goddamn it, okay?
You can be nice. I'm not. I ain't got no dog in the fight.
I'm trying to be nice. They want him to get outside the pocket. So if you're going to beat Georgia, you're going to have to stop the run first. And that stop the run with Stetson, and you stop it with James Cook, Zamir, Kendall, and those guys. Like, you're going to have to stop all those guys. So you're going to have to stop the run whether you like it or not. Georgia's not going to sit back and pass the ball 30 times a game. Right. They're not going to do that type of stuff. They want to be balanced. He wants to control the clock. So they're going to have to make a play in a running game by creating fumbles. They're going to have to play good special team. They're going to have one on Falcons openers where they have, right off the bat, they get a fumble or something like that. They got to seize momentum in this game in order for them to beat the Dogs, man. I just don't think they got enough to withstand Georgia's physicality on both sides of the ball, even with Stetson at quarterback. I just don't think they have enough.
Hey man, like I said, the theme of that game is you gotta stay aggressive.
Yeah,
you gotta stay aggressive, because if you get passive in this game, like I said, even against a Michigan, if you get passive against Michigan,
they can send some people after you.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a war of attrition right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all now. And like I said, pretty much Alabama, Cincinnati, that's the big brother 3-month-old nephew matchup right there. You know that most people think that ain't no chance in hell on that one. But we've seen crazier things happen. Anything can damn happen.
Anything can happen. It's all about momentum in college. Mm-hmm. College is more so more momentum than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see college in itself, whether it's basketball or football, it's all about momentum.
Right.
So they got to get out.
Yeah. Because I'm interested to see Desmond Ridder against Alabama. I'm very intrigued by it. Because even when I saw him against Georgia last year, he looked pretty good. There was a couple throws that he missed on that hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
But he showed you that he ain't scared of an SEC defense.
Right
now, Alabama, like I said, I'm interested to see how he does against Alabama. I heard people say that Alabama does not do well against running like dual threat quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm ready to see how that matchup goes around, because that actually could help him, and I kind of feel like that like I said, it's a game for him to make some money.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, if Alabama blow their asses out the water, then Des Ridder gonna end up in the second or third round. But I'm just saying on that. But we just wanted to get a little BCS talk going on. We can talk more college football here later, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wind it down for the night. Like I said, we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in to Kstylzz. Hey, let me know if y'all like the format. Like I said, let me know if y'all like it. If y'all want us to continue the format like this, y'all put your red and black in here. Like I said, definitely y'all continue to support AFN, Atlanta Falcon Nation. Like I said, we are 50 away from the 2K mark, as well as definitely support your man 6-man Kstylzz. 60 away from 600. I am on the road to 1K. Help a brother out. And at the end of the day, y'all leave questions for this man here as well as me, because this is what we talk about. Like I said, this is what we're talking about, using y'all as interaction for our channels as well. So go ahead, Mike. Let's go ahead and get your closing statement now. I'm gonna get mine in, and we're gonna close and we're gonna end it.
Again, coaching is about adjustments. Play calling. No, the hell he ain't. Oh, he gonna get me as a shit sandwich. He ain't get no NIL out of me.
He said he gonna get paid in Starburst and Skittles. He got a three-pack Skittle deal.
That's it. 3-pack Skittle deal. That he get out. That's what he gonna get out of me.
You get a 5 push pop deal out of him.
But yeah, but that's what it come down to. I think a lot of people just got to be patient, man. You got to be patient with this team, and what people don't know. Not all the times you're gonna get an offense that come out of nowhere. Like some of the gritty offenses didn't come out of nowhere. That's the biggest. Y'all just assume that, you know, like you can even go back to the 2016 Falcons. Matt Ryan has been a top quarterback even before that season even happened. So it wasn't a surprise that happened. I mean, look at Drew Brees before all that. Like he was with a pretty good team, and with the Chargers, he was already with a good team. So like that he just didn't come out of nowhere. He just had issues staying healthy. Tom Brady, that's quite obvious. He just didn't become great. He didn't come out of nowhere. He was already great before he got there. So a lot of these top offenses that we be seeing, go back to the Rams and what the head coach name?
Not
Rams.
Was it?
I forget.
Not Mike Martin. What? Not Denver Mill. Mike Martz.
It was before Mike Martz, but Mike Martz was the offensive coordinator. I don't know why I can't get his name.
Man,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna look it up, man. I just had a brain fart right there.
Yeah, I forget his name. But he coached KC. He coached KC. Dick Vermeer. That's who. Dick Vermeer was that's but like a lot of these offenses don't, like, people think these people just come out of nowhere and just all of a sudden they have great. No, they have track records of actually getting better. So like we got to be patient. Like even Arthur Smith has a track record of becoming better. All right. Everybody thought that Derrick Henry was going to be a bust until he got with Arthur Smith. Look at Ryan Tannehill. They thought he was a bust until he got with whom? Yeah, that guy.
Arthur Smith.
So there's a track record with great coaches. It takes time. I said it before. Bruce Arians got fired, okay? He got fired from Pittsburgh. Sean Payton had his play calling revoked, was on the verge of getting fired by Jim Fossil. Okay? They took it away from him. So there was a history and there's a pattern. I don't have to go in Kyle Shanahan. This dude, he done been with so many teams, 3-4 teams.
Shit, about 6.
About 6, right? So there's a track record of these guys actually learning when and how to be play callers. So you got to be patient, okay? I know everybody wants instant results, but a lot of times that shit don't happen. It takes some years to get to that. And Arthur is just getting started, and I think that's what it is. So Matt Ryan ain't going to be here forever, despite what everybody think. He ain't going to be here forever, but it's about setting the foundation. Offensive line, players, scheme, the coaching, the scouts. Okay, Bill Belichick had a long, like he built his scouting department before he even built the coaching staff.
Right.
Bill Belichick got fired from Cleveland. Anybody forget about that? The dude is considered the greatest coach of all time. Got fired his first stint as a head coach. So it's going to take patience, bro. Nothing happens overnight. It takes time, bro. So that's that's my last word.
Right.
It takes time. Be patient.
Right. And so is it? Oh yeah, about Tom Brady throwing his tablet last night. Oh boy, Tom.
Oh, he the GOAT though. He don't need no weapons. He didn't score a single point. But he the GOAT. He make everybody else better, but he couldn't even score a single point last night without weapons. You see how that works? It takes time. It takes talent.
It takes team.
It takes a team.
It takes a team, bro. At the end of the day, and like I said, think about it. Think about like kind of like what Mike said. You're sacrificing Matt Ryan to set a foundation to better your team in the future. Instead of looking at it like that, if you look at it like that, if you think about it, if you build a foundation with a quarterback that can't run or who's not a runner, and if you decide to get that runner, you've already built the offensive line that has the mindset of I want to keep this guy in the pocket, or weapons that know, okay, I got to get to my spots quicker because he can't make it. Instead of looking at it like that, if you look at it like that, then you embrace the team a little bit more. I don't want to have to go down the 3 unifiers of Japan theory all over again.
Yeah.
Well, one died, and his successor ended up taking over. Boom. And now you already have everything in place. This is why we say you have to build the foundation, because once you do get that new quarterback, and you might get this quarterback in the next couple years, but the main thing you want to do is you want to have pieces ready for him. Now, we may say that this rookie class this year may not be. Now, a lot of people may say, well, they may have failed in this rookie class this year. I beg to differ, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be playing these rookies. These rookies are getting their upcomings right now. So go ahead, hold on before I finish. I'm gonna go ahead and get D Sloan with the 99-cent chupa chat. 99 cent. Holla, holla, holla. But yeah, this is what we're talking about, building a foundation. Because the thing is, if you take the quarterback but don't have the foundation, you're pretty much going to put the quarterback in the same position you're in now.
Right.
You build the foundation, you get a couple pieces that you need in the trenches, you get some comparable guys on the offense. So when you do get that quarterback, now the transition is easier. That's why Patrick Mahomes came in and lit this league on fire.
Exactly. Perfect example.
He had the pieces was already there for him to do so. This is why Tom Brady took the reins from Drew Bledsoe when he got hurt. They already had the team ready. The team was doing fine. Boom. Instant success. Ben Roethlisberger was another example.
Yep.
The Steelers had the team. They drafted Ben Roethlisberger. They necessarily didn't have to draft Ben Roethlisberger, but they drafted Ben Roethlisberger.
Russell Wilson. I think they had Hasselbeck.
They had Hasselbeck. They had Hasselbeck. They let him go. And they brought in Matt Flynn, and he beat Matt Flynn out.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers
is
another example. Hell, even I say like this: Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers. So, so this is why when we say, okay, we're not scared of the quarterback change. We're not scared of it changing. The problem is I want the transition to be smooth.
Oh, Steve Young, Kurt Warner.
Hell, Lamar Jackson, Martin Bolger. Yep. See, even when you look at even you can kind of say Matt Ryan. Even in his case,
big, yeah. When he came, right.
When he came in, Matt Ryan already had a situation where they built a foundation around him.
Had a defense, they had a solid offensive line, and they just brought in a running back.
Michael Turner. Then you brought in Tony Gonzalez the year after. Roddy White started picking it up. Michael Jenkins was doing little things here and there. Harry Douglas as well. Like you said, you had a foundation. So why? So why while giving Matt Ryan the foundation to come in, would you want to give the foundation to the next quarterback? Because if you would have went the other way and just said, fuck it, I just want the quarterback, damn everything else. Once you got rid of the quarterback, now you put him in a situation to where he might not have no weapons. Because let's be honest with you, if Kyle Pitts wasn't on this offense, would you honestly? I'm gonna ask this real true question. Would you honestly think that? I think Cordero Patterson having a breakout year because Kyle Pitts is getting so much attention as well. So they going hand in hand right now. We got a $5 super chat from Jerry Bowie. Holla, holla, holla.
Appreciate that,
Definitely appreciate that.
I appreciate that before we get up off here. But
So,
yeah, like you said, man, you're absolutely right. You got to set down that that foundation, and like I said before, at the end of the day, nothing comes quick, and I think that's the biggest misconception when we see all these great teams right now. People tend to forget that a lot of these players and coaches have been doing this 10 years at the very least. They didn't just get to this point.
Right.
Bruce Arians just didn't become out of 1 year a great coach. He's been doing this for years, and he learned how to coach.
Right.
So don't expect Arthur Smith to just right off the bat become, have one of the greatest offenses of all time because, in 1 year. It's just not realistic.
Right. Exactly. So just leave a little food for thought. Like you said, you ain't gotta agree with everything we said. We ain't gotta agree with everything you said. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, it's about having a conversation and looking at viewpoints and putting them into your own. So as we continue here, also tune in for the Heavy Hitters show tomorrow. We will be talking about the Falcons-Lions matchup. So y'all stay on tune to that. As we say here, AFN, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here. Scared the shit out y'all then.
Deuces.